Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am going to be doing the BOOKTERNET ALL-STARS Challenge. This was created by Rachael. I'll of course link her channel down below, and the purpose of this challenge is to help provide relief for COVID-19. So Rachael decided that she was going to create this challenge, and for everyone who did this challenge and then submitted it to her, she would donate $1 to a COVID relief fund up to, or not $1 because she's from Britain, she'll donate £1 up to 75 pounds for COVID relief to a charity that provides relief for COVID. Of course, if you don't want to do this challenge, you are more than welcome to donate on your own anyways. I will put some links down below that Rachael has provided, and of course you are more than welcome to donate to these relief funds for people who are really suffering through this pandemic and could use some help, and also for organizations who are trying to provide support during this really stressful time. And I think it's amazing that Rachael has done this, that she is trying to do something when it feels like to a lot of us like there's nothing we can do and that we're kind of helpless in this situation. I feel great doing this challenge because I feel like it is doing some good out there in the world. So the way this challenge works is Rachael came up with some kind of BOOKTERNET All-Stars is what she calls them. Some of them are books or series, some of them are authors, but they are just very beloved on the bookish World Wide Web. I am supposed to go through this list and say if I have read them or not. And I feel like I'm gonna do pretty poorly on this. Actually, I'm kind of new to the bookish community, so I haven't read all the stuff that everyone else has read. The first one is an author, and that is Angie Thomas. She is the author of On the Come Up and The Hate You Give. I have seen her in a lot of videos. I've seen her books in a lot of people's videos, and they seem to be ones that people really love, but I actually have never read them. I don't read a ton of contemporary books to begin with, and I am just not positive if these are books that I would enjoy. When I do read contemporaries, it does tend to be more romance focused, so I just have never gotten around to reading these. Maybe someday. I hear that they are amazing and deal with some very timely topics. The next one is the Shauna McGuire series by Rachael Marie, and I also have not read this series, and I'm going to be honest, I have no desire to read this series. I have heard some people obviously love it, some people absolutely hate it and think it's not very well done, and I just have enough to read that I am not going to be jumping into that because there are a lot of books in this series now. So next we have an author that is extremely popular, and that is Leigh Bardugo. She is best known for her Grishaverse with the Grisha trilogy that I actually have just finished, so yay me. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom duology, which I have not read and I would love to. I do own Six of Crows and I want to jump into it fairly soon. And King of Scars, which is a Nikolai book, and then her new adult book, which is Ninth House. I have read Ninth House. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait for the next book in that series, but I'm a little worried because I just heard someone say there's supposed to be 9 books in that series, and I feel like by the time the 9th one comes out, I'm gonna have forgotten everything from the first. That's a lot of books. The next is the Folk of the Air trilogy with the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing. I have read all of these as well, and I really did not like them. I feel like I don't need to get into that too much because I have ranted about it quite a bit in several other videos, but yes, I can check those off my list at least. The next would be the Bone Witch trilogy, I think is what it is a trilogy. I have the first and second books up there. You might not be able to see them, but I'm actually pointing pretty much right at them. I'm impressed with myself. And it's supposed to be about a witch who's also kind of got necromancy powers, and her brother dies, and she might bring him back. I don't know. I haven't read it. I hear it is extremely character driven and it is kind of slow, so I feel like I need to be in the mood for it because it sounds like something I would love, and I don't want to not like it because I read it at the wrong time. Next we have V.E. Schwab, who is an extremely popular author on the BOOKTERNET. She has written the Shades of Magic trilogy, Vicious and Vengeful, Our Dark Duet. She has a lot of books out there. She has also written some middle grade books, which I have read her one of her books, and that is actually her middle grade series, City of Bones. So I'm a little embarrassed by that because I feel like Nikki Schwab sounds like an author that I would absolutely love, so I need to get to her books. Next we have the Lunar Chronicles. Also, I have read none of these. I actually got them for my sister for Christmas, like maybe 10 years ago or something. I don't know, it was forever ago. She never read any of them, so that kind of made me not feel like I wanted to read them either, because my sister and I tend to have very similar tastes, so I just really have not a lot of interest in reading those books, probably mostly because I hear they're on the lower end of YA, and I would rather read middle grade than YA that is extremely YA. I don't know why, it just is kind of my taste at the moment. Maybe someday, I'll never say never, but I highly doubt it. Next, we have an author that I actually did not even know who he was. His name is Adam Silveira, and I'm glad I watched Rachel's video because she said that one of the books that he has written is They Both Die at the End, and that's the only book I know of his, but I have no idea who this author really is. So I've obviously never read any of his books. Ooh, next we have Cassandra Clare, and I have actually read 3 of her books now. I read the Mortal Instruments original trilogy, and let's just say that I did not love it, and I have high hopes for The Infernal Devices, but if that lets me down, I'm going to be done with Cassandra Clare. She has written so many books, and she is so beloved though, so she definitely, belongs on this list. Next, we have just a standalone book, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I have not read it. It is on my list to read. I hear it's amazing. I hear it's so well done, and I'm very excited to read that one. I actually own it, so should be soon. Our next author is Laini Taylor, and honestly, I absolutely love her. She wrote the Strange the Dreamer duology and the Daughter of Smoke and Bones trilogy, and I love her writing style. It is fairly flowery, and I am totally there for it. I love all of her books that I have read so far, and I can't wait until she comes out with something new. I haven't heard anything, but I really hope so. Illuminae is next on our list, and I have actually read this whole trilogy. It is a sci-fi trilogy by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I liked it. I didn't absolutely love it like most people did, and I thought it was good. It was interesting, but I feel like I didn't love the second and third books quite as much, and so that kind of let me down a little bit. Another popular trilogy is the Scythe trilogy by Neal Shusterman. I have also not read these books, and I own all 3 of them, so I really should get to them. I am hoping that sometime within this year I'll be able to read that trilogy, but I just have so many books that I have to read, it's ridiculous. Next we have Sarah J. Maas, and I am very proud to say that I have read one of her books. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I really enjoyed myself. I don't know why I haven't moved on in that series yet. I'm like waiting to read the next one. I don't know, but I actually really enjoyed the only book that I have read by Sarah J. Maas, but she wrote A Court of Thorns and Roses series, as well as the Throne of Glass series, and her new book, which is really popular right now, The Crescent City, so I need to get going. Another trilogy that I own, or I think it actually has 4 books. I own it, and I have not read them, and that is The Ember and the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I hear it's great and amazing. So many people say that it is just completely something that I would love and enjoy, but I have not read it yet. I plan to actually read it this month in May, so hopefully I will be getting to that really soon after you watch this video, actually. Next, we have Shauna McGuire, which I have actually read 2 of the books in her Wayward Children series. It's a series of short stories about children who go to kind of portal worlds and then come back and have to deal with that. I have loved them. They weren't 5-star reads for me, but I really did enjoy my time in them. And I'm really excited to read her book Middle Game, which is also on my TBR for this coming month. So I feel like this is a kind of pointed tag for me. Next, we have The Poppy War. I haven't read it. I don't really have any interest in reading it, and I don't really even know that much what it's about, so sorry guys. And the final one is To All the Boys I Loved Before, and I've read it. Yes, I have read the entire trilogy. I'm quite proud of myself, honestly, and I fairly enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I did not enjoy the third one as much as the first 2. I actually enjoyed the second book the most, which is very rare for me in a series, so it was pretty good, but it wasn't anything that I absolutely love, and it's probably nothing I'll ever reread, but I did enjoy it, so yeah. that is the end of the list for the BOOKTERNET All-Stars. I scored 9 out of 18, which is a horrible 50%. I apparently need to get working on reading the books that are popular on BookTube. I obviously fail at that, but I had a lot of fun doing this tag, and I would like to tag Sarah at Sarah's Reading Nook, Kristen at Perks of a Book Flower, Stephanie at A Garden of Ink, Angela at Angela Rose Reads, Laura at Laura Reads Pages, and Asenia at Read with Asenia. These are all members of my book club that we have just started, and I would love for all of us to be able to do this tag together. If you are interested, no pressure, don't feel like you have to, but I just feel like it was so much fun for me to do it because I know that it is going towards something. It is doing some good out there in the world, hopefully. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.